UPenn just can't hammer. They can't actually stand by their beliefs if it means sacrificing any dollars. Think about that for a second. Mm-hmm. And they want to tell you that you're immoral. At least you're willing to stand for what you believe in. So speaking of terms that are constantly changing, remember when male, female, man, woman used to be a thing? That was nice.
Those are the days.
Classic.
But now UPenn, because Donald Trump has applied some pressure, the Lia Thomas fiasco, they're going back and they're having to change the history books. And that's because President Trump is doing what we all know is right, and it's finally coming to fruition.
So take your testicles and dead names like Kyle. It's not a question, there's a bulge between your thighs. Completely predictable to anyone with eyes. Trump's getting things set right with Title IX.
It should have been a slower zoom, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who missed it, and the media really doesn't want to cover this, it's a tough one for them. UPenn, they caved. And the one takeaway here is these people don't have any conviction, those on the left, right? We will protect decency and we will stand up for what is right until someone says, yeah, you're gonna lose a little bit of money that you actually claim that you don't need because you don't receive federal funding. And they go, no, wait. Sorry, trannies, you're on your own. Okay, all right. They just don't actually have any convictions. They don't really believe anything. So UPenn caved to the Trump administration because there was a Title IX investigation into the trans former man, current man swimmer Lia Thomas, and this was, of course, a big source of controversy. But now they're caving because of money.
This morning, the University of Pennsylvania reversing course, saying it will now ban transgender athletes and strip trans swimmer Lia Thomas of her swimming titles. The school reaching a deal with the Trump administration, saying it will comply with Title IX, as interpreted by the Department of Education. Lia Thomas made history in 2022, becoming the first openly transgender athlete to win an NCAA Division I title. The win sparked fierce debate over fairness, including from some of Thomas's own teammates.
I knew there would be scrutiny against me if I competed as a woman. Baby. I was prepared for that.
Oh, how'd you guess?
But I wanted to win, and I couldn't win as a man.
No.
So why have they changed their tune? Well, President Trump, this administration, they cut off $175 million in funding for Title IX violations. So now, according to the agreement, UPenn is going to issue a public apology promising to use biology-based definitions.
You promise?
They're going to post the apology in a prominent location and on their website. They're going to send a personalized apology to each affected swimmer.
Yes.
And they are going to restore the records and titles to the female swimmers and anyone who was slighted. So this really is embarrassing for them when you think about it.
It's unbelievable.
It's embarrassing for a university to say, we're going to start using biology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, all right, we'll send them a personal apology. Okay, yeah, and we'll post it publicly. Oh, okay, yes, and we'll put it on our website. Okay, yes, and we'll use biology.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, and we'll restore the records. It's very different from the stand you were willing to take back then, in case you've forgotten, if you didn't have President Trump in office right now. Back then, UPenn nominated Lia Thomas for the NCAA Woman of the Year.
Well, she's a guy, so...
In 2022. Keep in mind, this is the guy Thomas set records in. I know people often say, like, well, it's not really a problem. It only affects 1% of 1% of the population. No, we get it because they're freaks. But that doesn't mean that that makes this right. So, for example, when you have the Olympics and you have a non-female fighting another non-female for the number 1 and 2 medal spots in the women's boxing category in the Olympics, you go like, okay, maybe this is a little bit absurd. Thomas set records not just in the 100, also in the 200, and in the 500 categories, the freestyle. Set records. Records.
For women's swimming, it should just be called other. It should be called men's and other.
Yeah.
Do you know where he ranked among men? About 463rd.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
460 men that were better than this guy, and he won the women's division.
Yes. Well, as of today, it looks like Thomas has been deleted from all of the records, aside from his inclusion in the 400-meter freestyle relay. They put as much effort into removing him, by the way, from the record as Thomas did removing his penis. Yeah, that's
Goodbye.
It's quite lazy.
Yeah, they could have tucked him.
And here's the thing, they're not changing their views. This is all, the lesson here is it's all about money.
Yeah.
And so when you see these companies, a lot of these companies that are dyed-in-the-wool leftists, if they're going unwoke, quote unquote, a lot of them are just doing it because they can't hemorrhage the money. UPenn just can't hemorrhage. They can't actually stand by their beliefs if it means sacrificing any dollars. Think about that for a second. Mm-hmm. And they want to tell you that you're immoral. At least you're willing to stand for what you believe in. These people never are, because they're so used to being the front runner and they're so used to having all the dollars that any challenge, any adversity, and they fold. It's unbelievable. They're not changing their views. So the president, actually, Larry Jameson noted, Penn has never maintained a policy of its own regarding the participation of transgender athletes in intercollegiate sports, nor do we maintain our own policies related to other NCAA rules. What? It doesn't even seem like that's accurate. And also, by the way, exclusive to us, we have to keep this anonymous, but behind the scenes, UPenn is still trying to dismiss a former swimmer's lawsuit claiming that it didn't violate the law.
Come on.
So
a lot of the teammates had said that the teammates, pushed back. Yeah, it's because they saw a penis in their locker room every day.
Right.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I can't imagine, actually.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Steven walks around with that thing swinging all around.
Oh, come on now. It's more of a flick. It sounds like the mini noisemakers that you get at like Chuck E. Cheese that don't really make noise. It's like click, 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 click.
Nice. Aww.
Now, this seems pretty sensible, but some people may not appreciate just how insane our world has been. I mean, I've been here since 2008, and I watched new genders emerge, where you can even watch the first Change My Mind. There are only two genders, in which I asked, okay, what is a woman? What is a male? What is a female? What's a man? What's a woman? We need to establish these terms.
Yeah.
To the next installments where people weren't arguing, well, actually, there's more than two. They were arguing there's countless genders. I was here in real time, and now people are returning to biology. But if you're not aware of that, you may not fully appreciate what we're about to present, the Reddit retards. And when I look at the Reddit politics thread form, it almost feels like I'm discovering someone who's been in a foxhole and doesn't know that the war is over.
Like Brendan Fraser coming out
exactly.
of it. Yeah, exactly.
Like they don't realize people are done with this now. This is not a thing. No one's actually going along with it. So let me read you some comparisons and analogies. This is from restart_from_0. This is at Reddit. They actually said, first Penn State covered up children being raped for years. Now UPenn does this. Okay. Billy, I thought you would hit the...
Sorry, retarded.
Yeah. So first off, I almost missed one of the mistakes here when I first read this, because you're like, wait, you're comparing child rape to restoring women's records? And then I realized it's not even the same school.
And
it's Penn State and UPenn.
And Penn State doesn't educate children.
It's
They're adult. They were adult men.
Yeah, I know, but they're talking about covering up rape as though it's the same right now.
Yeah, it's not even this.
Both are tragedies. Don't you understand? That's like that would be like me saying first there was the clock tower shooting at UT Austin, and then they stopped serving fajitas at Texas Tech.
What is going on?
Tragedy.
How dare you?
Here's another Reddit retard. Ems Lynn wrote, the amount that this administration is obsessed with other people's genitals is weird. This is what they this is what they do, right? Like, let's let a man with a penis set women's records and steal medals from it. And then when you go, no, hold on a second, that's wrong, and we're going to correct it. Justice. You guys are all about restorative justice. You couldn't find a more clear example of restorative justice than women who lost medals they had rightfully earned because of some political agenda of the day, which has now been proven to be a lie, biologically, scientifically. And then they accuse you of being obsessed with someone else's genitals. No, look, we don't care what genitals you have. Just don't put them around other people who don't have the same genitals when your spaces are supposed to be separated because of your genitals.
Excuse me, could you please put your big, giant cock away?
Why are you obsessed with my penis?
Yeah.
Why are you obsessed with it? Why are you obsessed?
Yeah, you just have penis on the brain.
Touch it. Weirdo. Conversion therapy.
Doing the helicopter. Why are you obsessed?
Grow up.
Enjoy the breeze.
So Malakes writes on Reddit, all it cost everyone was everything. But hey, at least the concentration camp Alligator Alcatraz has a merch store so you can get a hat while trying to visit your Hispanic friends and family. Oh. I know. It's like, what does this have to do with this? It doesn't. These people are retarded.
I bet you the prisoners hope that there's t-shirts that they get to wear that say Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I survived Alligator Alcatraz, and you arrive in Venezuela.
You arrive with an alligator cup and a curly straw.
It's a souvenir cup. I get to refill it next time I go.
Refills. It's like the Rainforest Cafe. Only, I paid the price.
By the way,
there's a giant alligator tooth that you can take a picture with.
Yeah. No friends and family get to visit. You're going to be alone until you're sent back to your home country.
Okay, here's one of my favorite ones. Reddit retards. He says, I wish I knew. Yep, even Hitler didn't take away Jesse Owens medals.
Whoa!
Wow.
What?
What does that even mean?
But I'm sure that's next on the list for this regime. Damn, Adolf was too DEI.
What are you talking about?
Being retarded.
So you think, hold on a second. So you think that ensuring that women's medals go to women, that you're reading the tea leaves here, huh? And you think that Donald Trump he's coming for Jesse Owens medals next. There's no saving these people. No. There's no saving these people. Just let them descend into the abyss of retardation where they belong. This has been Reddit really retards. All right.
It's one of my favorite stingers.
And this is what we wanted to spend some time on here today. The media, of course, they lie about everything. I mean, and just think about, if they can't lie, they just make these false equivalencies. Jesse didn't take Jesse Owens medals. Why are you going to take a medal from Lia Thomas? Well, I'm taking a woman's medal away from a man.
Right. Not a black man's medal away from other men.
I know.
He wasn't competing in the white race.
No.
And here's the thing, too. It goes back to, I really think they've sort of tipped their hand, because back when it was same-sex marriage, which, by the way, gay marriage, I oppose then and I oppose now. I think civil unions got it, right? There's a bunch of problems with marriage laws and a bunch of problems with divorce law. I get all that. I'm saying, but it's supposed to be a covenant. It was based on the idea of child rearing. We wanted to encourage nuclear families. Don't apologize for it. I was against it then. I'm against it now. The comparison that they used to make back then is they would say, oh, so I guess you must be opposed. So you're one of those people who would have been opposed to interracial marriage. No, and here's how you know you are the racist, because you're actually making a false equivalency. Let me tell you why mine's not. I don't believe that a white mother can provide anything to a child that a black mother can't, by and large. I don't believe that a white father can exclusively provide something to a child that a black father can't, assuming he's there.
Yeah.
I don't believe that a man can provide to a child what a woman can as a mother. It's not the same. Men and women are not fundamentally interchangeable. I believe that most people from different races, assuming similar cultural backgrounds and upbringings, right? Assuming the nurture component is similar, assuming that, I believe that black and white men and white and black women, as far as raising children or the ability to be a wife or husband, are fundamentally interchangeable. I do not believe that men and women are. It's the same thing they do here. They go, so it's just like Jesse Owens? Oh, okay. So you actually you actually think that there's that much of a difference between white and black men? Or are you saying there's no difference between men and women? What equivalency is it that you are drawing? They can't help but trip themselves up in their own racism. No, I wasn't opposed to interracial marriage. I'm opposed to same-sex marriage, to be clear. No, I'm not opposed to blacks beating white people in sports.
Yeah, are you implying that they have some kind of advantage?
I'm opposed to men beating women in sports.
Because that's an advantage.
It's like, this really shouldn't be that hard. For proof, see every textbook on biology that has ever existed up until the year 2015 or so. Vagina is exactly what I would say if I wasn't here on YouTube. So go and subscribe on Rumble. Same channel where free speech is actually alive and well. Or you can stay here and the